What's going on, everybody? The original Mako back with more Cult of the Lamb content. Before we get into today's video, if you want to make sure you don't miss out on any of the Cult of the Lamb content coming your way, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Also, if you want to support the channel and all the content that I make here, you can check the links down below. There's a link to the Twitch channel if you want to see me do some crazy challenges that we're going to be doing live. Also, there's a link to go to the member page where you can become a member on YouTube. When you become a member, you get a bunch of different perks depending on what tier you're at, and it's a really, really good way to help support the channel. And as you can see on screen, we have a list of our members here, and I can't thank you guys enough for all the extra support. It means a lot to me, and if you want to join that list, then be sure to check that link down below. It would mean a lot, and I would really appreciate it, and you guys have no idea how much it helps me out. So check that out. I'd really appreciate it. But that being said, let's go ahead and get into today's video. Whoa. Well, let's just... Yep. Okay. So that being said, I'm going to be talking about some of the most important tips and tricks that I can give you guys for Cult of the Lamb. Now, for you, those of you that don't know, I did an entire subathon where we played through the game, and during this subathon, we ended up beating it. So this is my finished cult. Well, not finished at all. I still have a lot of fun things I want to do with the decorating aspect, but regardless, I'm going to be talking about some of the tips and tricks that helped me get through the game and get to the final boss on the extremely hard difficulty. So, first and foremost, I'm going to be talking about the stuff in the base that can give you an advantage. So there's going to be technically 6 tips because I do have an honorable mention tip that I want to give to you guys, but all of the stuff that we're going to be talking about that'll help you out in the base all revolve around a very, very similar theme. Well, I guess 2 of them revolve around a similar theme, and that is anything that can help your faith situation or your food situation or your sickness and health situation while you are out in the dungeons. Those are the things you want to be looking for. So the 2 most important ones, and these aren't really in any certain order, but the one that I kept just out of the top 5, our honorable mention tip, is the Janitor Station, which I believe is right here. So it takes a good bit. You have to get to the 3rd tier of upgrades. But the Janitor Station allows cultists to clean up after themselves if they throw up everywhere or shit themselves, regardless of what they do. The Janitor Station allows you to clean them up. That way, while you're out dungeoning, you don't have to worry as much about your cultists getting sick and potentially keeling over dead in the middle of the base while you're not around, because the Janitor Station will allow them to clean up after themselves, keep it sanitary, and lessen the amount of people that are sick. Now, to get into the actual top 5 tips, the next one I think is the more important of the, doing things while you're away, and that is getting to the Farmer Station Tier 2. Farming is extremely important. You want to get the farm going ASAP, and I mean ASAP. Being able to grow food at you still end up behind on food a decent bit, but if you're not farming, you're going to be in trouble a lot with food. The followers are tough to feed. They're hungry little bastards. So you want to make sure you have enough food at all times, and farming is the best way to do that. The problem is farming can get super, super tedious if you go around gathering plants one by one by one. I mean, I can show you. Well, I can't show you actually, but look at all these farm plots. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4. It takes 3 to 4 seconds to gather each one. I mean, you're talking about minutes at a time you would be spending gathering all of these resources. However, if you get to the farmer's plot at tier 2, then farmers will be able to harvest your crops and deposit them in chests for you to collect. It makes it so much easier, so much simpler, and just eliminates one of the potentially most tedious things that you have to do in your base in this game. Now, the next tip, and the last one that I want to talk about that you kind of need to do in the base, is our good friend, the Demonic Summoning Circle. Now, to get this one, you can unlock it pretty early. Once you get to tier 2, once you upgrade the cult to cult tier 2, you can unlock the Demonic Summoning Circle. The Demonic Summoning Circle is something that I will show you, and it is super, super useful. So you can go through all of your followers, and based on their loyalty to you, well, I guess they get assigned a random demon, as you can see. This one is melee attacks the closest enemy every few seconds. Automatically collects dropped for Vour. Start your next crusade with Spirit Hearts. Melee attack, closest enemy. Automatically collect. Flies away and returns with red hearts. There's a lot of different ones. And as you can see, sometimes some of them have, you know, I don't know if I can see. Oh, here we go. There's an explosive one. There's a projectile one. I don't know if we'll see it. There it is. Shoots a projectile every few seconds. Anyways, regardless of all this stuff, the higher their loyalty to you, the better off they are. So as you can see, these ones that are all level 1, in the upper right-hand corner, you can see that it says +1. So it'll melee the closest enemy every few seconds for 1 damage. As opposed to somebody who's level 8, it'll melee the closest enemy every few seconds for +8 damage. Damage in this game is slightly weird, but +8 damage compared to 1 is a huge difference in this game. In a lot of games, that doesn't really mean much. In this game, it means a ton. Also, member for 69 days, age 89, Pog. So yeah, getting their loyalty up can be super important, but being able to summon these demons and take them with you on, you know, ventures into the dungeons can make your dungeon runs a lot easier. Some of the other tips I'm about to give you are for when you are in the dungeon, but this is just a passive way to help use your followers. It does not like consume them or anything. It literally just turns them into a demon. They go into the dungeon with you, and they turn back out of a demon after you get out of the dungeon. They can't take damage. They can't die. They will get tired if they spend like the entire night in the dungeon with you, but it's a really useful way to help use your cultists to your advantage when you are actually in the caves, which is something you can't do as often. So that's the tips that I have for things around the base. Now let's go ahead and get into some of the tips for when you are actually in the dungeon. So here we are in the dungeons, and let's talk about the next 3 tips that will help you when you're going through your crusades. Whether it's normal rooms, boss rooms, these tips will help you in any scenario, and I think are the 3 most important things to remember and make use of when you are actually in a dungeon. The first one I can kind of show off without having to be in a room, and that would be animation canceling. So this game, some games do it, some games don't. This game does it where you can cancel an animation with your dodge. Now, cancel your animation, what does that mean? Well, normally, if you start swinging a big, heavier weapon, like let's say this axe I have here, attacks pretty slow, right? And you normally, well, not normally, but in some games, you have to fully finish this animation before you can dodge. In this game, you don't have to. You can dodge out at any point. You can do it before it even swings. You can do it literally immediately after it hits. You can wait in the full swing and then dodge. All you need to know is that your dodge will cancel out of most animations, which means you need to prioritize dodging to avoid damage in this game. Absolutely 1000%. Every single enemy in this game has times when it's good to attack, times when it's bad to attack, good openings, bad openings, what have you. In this game, the ability to cancel your animation is huge, and you need to take advantage of it. I know some weapons, like the gauntlets, are really good when you can hit a full combo, but it's much better to get 2 attacks into your combo and realize I'm about to get absolutely plastered. I need to dodge. Health is more important. You'll be able to do damage eventually. I can assure you, you will never lose a single boss fight, a single mini boss fight, a single normal room, if you just don't get fucking hit, right? So just don't get hit, forehead. It's that easy. It's never that easy. I know that. Okay, I understand. But I'm just saying you should prioritize dodging because you'll be able to get the damage in at some point, but you can't. It's much harder, if not impossible, in a lot of scenarios to get your health back. So animation canceling is a big one. Being able to just make sure you can start your swing, but oh, I'm about to get hit. Oh, I need to roll. Oh, I need to roll. Oh, I need to roll, whatever it is, okay? So that's the first one. The second one is kind of with the whole dodging thing, is make sure to abuse the iframes. That was a bad example. But you have iframes when you're dodging. The best place to show this off is usually when there's like a projectile enemy. But you can see you can roll through enemies as they're charging you because you are immune while you are dodging. Once again, the best time for this is when you are facing an enemy that is launching a lot of projectiles. You can dodge through those projectiles and make your life a lot easier. You don't have to try to like move to the side, move around them. You can just roll into them and you are immune for a good chunk of time. Like literally, it's a decently long roll. You cover a lot of ground and you are immune for the entire time as soon as you press the button to the second you stand up at the end of it. So make sure to abuse that. Abuse the iframes, use the animation cancel to get into a dodge, to abuse the iframes. It's a fun little nice combo with those two things. So be sure you abuse those iframes on the dodge, and be sure to make use of the fact that you can do animation canceling in this game. And now last, maybe the most important, it was hard to come up with like a rank for all of these, but this one is so useful and something that I think makes some spells just infinitely better than others. And that is, if you have a spell that can charge, you will slow down time to a very slow pace. That being said, what that means is if you're in kind of a tight spot and you're like, I really don't know what I'm about to do, I've got 80,000 bullets coming at me, there's an enemy about to smack me on my left, there's a thing coming from up top, there's something on the right, there's bullets coming from the every direction, I think I'm screwed. You can just hit that charge button, hold it down, and try to figure out a way to get out of the situation. Maybe you have to take damage, maybe you don't, maybe there's a way out, but you just need to slow down time. It's I don't want to say free because it costs a use of your ability, your spell, but it is a way that you can slow down time and make your life so much simpler. For example, once again, we have our enemy here. There's a lot going on, and I think, okay, bad timing. But you can see, while I'm charging, enemies are significantly slower. So you have a chance to kind of decide, okay, what do I want to do? How do I want to get out of this situation? And make your life just so much easier. Every single time you can do it as many times as you can cast the spell. I was trying to show it off and I kept getting hit by those goddamn fire arrows because they still travel really fast. But once again, it's something that you can make a good use of and find a lot, I'm sure, a lot of really good spots to use that to your advantage to find out what is going on. Maybe one of the most important places I would recommend using this is on a boss fight, a new boss specifically, because when you get to a new boss, the biggest thing in getting through the fight is learning the attack pattern. All of the bosses have a very strict, by the book attack pattern, and you're not really going to get surprised by anything once you know what their attack pattern is. So that being said, you get into a boss fight, a new boss, you have no idea what's coming. You can let the boss spawn in, and then you decide, okay, let's feel it out. You fully charge an ability, you watch, see what the boss does. In slow motion, you have a chance to absorb and realize, okay, I know this is one of their attacks now. I know what I need to look out for. I know how to dodge this. I know how to counter this. Next time I see the boss do this, I'll be able to do it in full speed. Having a chance to do that multiple times in a fight is so useful, and maybe one of the most important things that you can use to help you get through some of these crusades. And while you're doing all of this in the dungeon, you have nothing to worry about back at base because they're all the followers are cleaning up after their own shit, literally. And you got you got crops ready to go as soon as you get back because they're all being gathered, put into a chest, replanted, watered. Everything is being done for you because obviously that's how it should be. You are the leader of the cult. So those are some of my tips to get you guys going into the game. Believe me, there's going to be a lot more. I'm going to work on making an ultimate guide to this game, everything you need to know about running the cult and getting through crusades and getting to the end of the game. I'm going to be doing a challenge on Twitch. Not sure I'm going to name it yet, but there's going to be a lot of rules. Try to get through an entire run. The big one is going to be without dying on the hardest difficulty, which should be fun. I might do something where followers can't die. I'm still working on the rules, but it should be super fun. Should be exciting. So check out the Twitch channel. Make sure you're subscribed because you're not going to want to miss any of this content coming to you guys. But regardless, leave other tips down below. There are plenty of tips for this game. So leave them in the comments. Other people can look through the comments and find some more tips as well. So thank you guys so much for the support as always. Hopefully you'll have a wonderful rest of your day. I love each and every one of your faces, and I will catch you all in the next video.